Hi, I'm Paris, and I do own my own gold pan. Now this doesn't come in handy much here in Texas. This is one of the worst states for being able to find gold in the creeks and rivers. But a couple decades ago when I lived in Washington State, I would take this out and had a little bit of luck panning for gold in the rivers. Now this is your entry-level gold pan, and the last time I used it was a few years ago as a prop in a Bitcoin video. If you're more serious about mining for gold, you want to have a better chance of actually finding something, then you might want to try something like this. The Gold Rush Nugget Bucket. Portable gold concentrating, gold panning kit. Everything you need is right in here to take with you if you're serious about finding some gold. Again, here in Texas, I'm not likely to have much luck, but I did take this out to one of our local rivers and give it a try. I'll show you what happened there. I'll also show you what comes in the container and how it all works to improve your chances of finding gold.
Epic Review Guys.
Thanks to the folks at Nugget Bucket for sending me one of these to try out. Briefly, my understanding of gold panning is usually this wasn't an end in itself, unless it's a hobby for you and it's just fun to get outside and go out along the rivers and see if you can find some gold. But in terms of really making money, this was to let you know by working your way up a creek or a river when the gold sand or the little gold flakes disappeared, you would know that you've reached a point where the gold might be up in the hills on one side or the other of the valley, and you would go prospecting up there to find where there's a lot of gold all in one place. These days, though, I don't know if there are a lot of individuals still filing mining claims, so this becomes a hobby, and this is a hobbyist's gold pan, and this is a serious hobbyist gold pan. About making money with a gold mining, gold panning, I think if you make enough money to cover the cost of gas and beer, I think you're doing well. Let me show you what comes in this Nugget Bucket kit. This was actually featured on Shark Tank, and it's very cleverly designed to fit in a fairly small space, has everything you need, fits together real well, doesn't weigh too much. So even though you could take it along just by carrying it by the handle on a longer hike, I imagine it's used more for people who are car camping or going out on a day trip. And you can use this to sit on as well. Okay. Now, I have used this. The stuff's a little dirty. This is a spade that's included for digging up the soil, though I have seen people use shovels with this because the idea is you want to get a lot of material and concentrate it down, but you can certainly do it with this, and I used this when I went out to the river. In here, they include a sprayer bottle, another bottle, I guess, to put your gold into, to hold on to, a little pair of tweezers for picking up little gold flakes, and a magnet in a plastic bottle, so you can use this to pick up the, as I understand it, the black rock, the magnetic rock that's sometimes mixed in with the gold. Instructions are a little sparse. They can't teach you all there is to know about where to go, what to look for in gold mining, so there's some brief description here and a brief description of how to put this together and make it work, but you really need to see it in action to understand it. This is the schematic on how to put it back together to transport it. This is different from how you're going to put it together to use it. Now for the meat and potatoes of it, you have a screen. It's plastic. You have your gold pan, which you will use at the end. So actually you're going to keep this out and set it aside. You have another screen. You have this funnel. This is pretty much what it is. And the two pieces at the very bottom are a base and a clear plastic bowl, and this is where your final product will get concentrated to, and you will take what gets concentrated into this, dump it into the gold pan, and then do your panning. And there's this bucket, which actually doesn't stay in here because this is for scooping up the water out of the river to pour onto the top of this. Well, you'll see. And so here you go with this guy. Now, just briefly to show you how you put it together. I show this by the river too, but let me show you here under more controlled conditions. So this is what holds all the pieces in place. You're going to take the base, the clear plastic bowl, center that, and then put the funnel on top of it. So that's what you're looking at in there. Then goes this screen, the secondary screen, and then the primary screen. And with this, you're ready to get started. Okay, I've got my Gold Rush kit with the trowel. I don't remember how they fit this in there. I couldn't get it back in, but let me unpack it here. We're at the San Gabriel River, right down below the dam. And water comes out right here. We're hoping there might be some turbulence that brought something up. There's not a lot of gold in central Texas. We're gonna give this a try. Small one of these, large one of these. We're ready to go. We'll use this after I do some concentrating. So the first thing is to scoop up something that you hope might have some gold flecks in it. Unfortunately, a lot of this looks like silt and clay, which I don't think is ideal. You want to make sure to have some rocks down in the very bottom. I just remembered. Let me do that. In the bowl. I guess it's a place for the gold flakes to get caught under and not washed out. So here's the material. Oh, I don't like the looks of that clay stuff. Okay, next we add water. The water washes through this, takes the smaller particles and pulls them into that bowl down below. Agitate this some so that the particles can go through it. Okay, supposed to look through the tray for any large gold nuggets you may have missed or any other precious stones. Look pretty ordinary to me, so I'm going to dump this out. So what made it through this went into this tray. Still have stuff there. Add some more water and agitate this. Anything important or of value. I think we got some quartz crystals here. When this is finished draining, take out the funnel section. Oh, it's heavy. This is really concentrated. So this is what you have. Concentrated. If there's any gold in it, in theory, you might be able to see it on the bottom. So in case there is, we now have to pan this material the way you would normally pan for gold in a river, and then see what we find. So time to get the green pan. That is a lot of clay. You'd like to see is sand. I can take the rocks out now. Okay, you take the part with the ridges, face it down, swirl it. The idea is that the gold will settle to the bottom, possibly get caught by the ridges and held in there. Scrape off the top layer of stuff as you go, because there shouldn't be gold there. Then get some more water and continue. Okay, gonna zoom in again here. When you get down to a little bit of material left, if you're fortunate, when all of this slides over, you'll see some little gold flakes, gold dust, something golden showing up here. There is sand, I can feel it. Little grains of sand, but boy, there's not much. And I don't think we got anything on that go round. All right, this silty material doesn't seem too hopeful. Maybe something more similar to regular soil. Maybe try a little of this. Like mud. Seems to be working better. That's what you want to have happen. All the big stuff is filtered off. Nothing to keep. Next we're going to this tray. Hoping for a few quartz crystals, something to give me hope, but don't see that. Okay, so we're going to toss this too. Take the funnel out. I don't think there'll be a lot in the bowl because you can do several big shovelfuls in the top to fill the bowl up. Let's see. And if you turn with me here, let's look at the bottom. Well, it's a little more promising. Let's pan this out. Okay. Put it into the pan. Take out those rocks we started with. Let's see what we got. Nothing golden shining out at me. But then again, we didn't really expect we'd find some here. But I think with this type of material, it works much better. So as you could see from my experience Riverside, I did not return home independently wealthy. Didn't even make enough money for a 6-pack of beer. Went through the McDonald's drive-thru and got the value meal $1 as big a drink as they have of sweet tea, which really tasted good because a couple hours out hiking around and doing the gold concentrating, it's actually hard work. But it's easier with this because of the fact that you can just shovel a bunch of material into the top of this, and then with pouring water on it and doing that agitation, you can take all of that material and condense it down into something that you can pan. If you were doing it directly with the pan, it would take a lot longer. I would say in a couple minutes, if you were skilled at doing this, in a couple minutes time, you could probably do about 5 times getting through the 5 times material you could take through the process than if you were doing it just with this. But what's 5 times 0? Yes! So I don't have any gold to show for this. I'm anxious though when we go out to the beach the first time this year, probably next month, maybe out around Corpus Christi. Seems to me there's a fairly good chance that in the sand there could be some gold. So I'm going to take this along to the beach, and while the kids are building the sandcastle, I'm going to be trying this out in the surf. If you're ready to take the step up from an amateur gold panner to a serious amateur gold panner, this goes for $99. I'll have a link to it down below this video. If this is something that gets you out of the house, gets you out into nature, especially with family or friends, to do something fun, even if you don't come back with a whole bunch of golden nuggets, I think it's still well worth the money. You can keep checking back for future videos, or you can click that subscribe button down below. You'll get notified when our videos go up. And if you happen to be out at Port Aransas next month and you see a crazy guy in a colorful shirt standing in the waves with the shovel, that'll be me. See you on the next review.
Shopping is easy when you know what to buy. At EpicReviewGuys, we give it a try. What does the fox buy? Nobody knows. But before he goes shopping, he watches our videos.